Who's actually going to get the most out of a premium ultra-short-throw projector paired with rechargeable 3D glasses, and who's better off walking away? Is the price justified for someone who just wants a solid movie night at home, or does it only make sense for hardcore gamers and serious home theater enthusiasts? Those are the questions that keep popping up in the forums, and they're the ones I wanted to answer before I even hit the buy button. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When a projector promises cinematic scale, zero compromise and then throws a 100-inch image from just a few feet away, it sounds like a dream. But the reality is a little messier. The JMGO O2S Ultra is marketed as an all-in-one entertainment hub, a laser-based engine that claims RGB triple laser brilliance, Dolby Vision grade 4K clarity, built-in Dynaudio sound, and AI-driven performance tweaks for gaming and streaming. On top of that, the bundle throws in 2 rechargeable 3D glasses that use a high-speed LCD shutter system. The big question is whether all these bells and whistles translate into everyday value or if they end up as nice-to-have features you'll never use. First, let's talk about the core use case, a living room or dedicated media room where you want a true-to-life picture without the hassle of a massive throw distance. The ultra-short-throw design means you can place the projector a foot or two from the wall and still get a 100-inch image. In a typical apartment, that's a game-changer because you don't need to mount it on the ceiling or sacrifice precious floor space. I set it up on a low media console, aimed it at a matte white wall, and the image filled the wall edge-to-edge without any noticeable keystone distortion. The zero compromise claim holds up when you have a flat surface. If your wall is textured or you have a TV mount, you'll need to spend a little time fine-tuning the lens shift. Now, picture quality. The marketing talk of RGB triple laser brilliance and Dolby Vision can be overwhelming, so I broke it down into 3 practical observations. First, the color gamut is noticeably wider than most budget DLP projectors I've tried. Skin tones looked natural, and the deeper blues in a nature documentary popped without oversaturation. Second, the 4K UHD resolution is truly 3840x2160 on the chip, but the panel's native pixel density means you can see the extra detail primarily when you sit close about 2 to 3 feet away. For a typical couch distance of 6 to 8 feet, the difference between 1080p and 4K is subtle, but it's there if you're a cinephile who notices grain. Third, the contrast ratio is respectable thanks to the laser light source. Dark scenes held detail without crushing the blacks, which is something you often lose on cheap lamp-based units. Sound is another selling point. JMGO built a Dynaudio speaker array right into the projector housing, promising an immersive audio experience without an external soundbar. In a small room, the built-in speakers filled the space nicely, delivering clear dialogue and a decent bass thump for action scenes. However, when I cranked up a heavy soundtrack, the bass started to sound a bit thin, and the volume ceiling hit around 80 dB. If you're planning on a full-blown home theater with a dedicated AV receiver, you'll likely bypass the internal speakers anyway, but for a minimalist setup the Dynaudio system is a pleasant surprise. The AI performance boost is where the O2S Ultra tries to differentiate itself for gamers. The projector runs a low-latency mode that claims to prioritize frame rate over image processing. In practice, I tested a fast-paced first-person shooter on a 144Hz monitor-sized screen. The input lag was around 30 milliseconds, which is decent for a projector but still higher than a high-end gaming monitor. The AI also auto-optimizes color and brightness based on the content, which can be handy when you switch from a dark indie game to a bright sports broadcast without digging through menus. It's not a miracle fix, but it does smooth out the experience for casual gaming sessions. Now, the 3D glasses. The bundle includes 2 rechargeable LCD shutter glasses that claim light-speed operation. When I tried a 3D Blu-ray, the glasses synced flawlessly with the projector, and the shutter timing felt instantaneous, no ghosting or flicker. The battery life lasted about 3 movies before needing a quick recharge, which is reasonable for occasional use. However, the glasses work only with the proprietary 3D mode, so you can't just pop in any generic 3D content without using the JMGO software. If you're a fan of 3D movies and want a plug-and-play solution, this is a nice addition, but for most viewers who rarely watch 3D, the glasses end up gathering dust. What about the downsides? First, the price tag. The O2S Ultra sits in the high-end segment, and the bundle with glasses pushes it well beyond the $2,000 mark. For someone who simply wants a decent home projector for occasional movies, there are lower-cost alternatives that deliver solid 1080p performance without the ultra-short-throw convenience. Second, the ambient light tolerance is moderate. If your room has windows or bright ceiling lights, the image